Welcome back to Pins and Patience. My name is Jeremy. Our final step is going to be attaching our shirt sleeve here to our shirt body. This is a very simple process. When I first started sewing, I thought this was so complex and I was just going out of my mind. But my hope is that with this video, we're going to be able to learn how to do this together, be able to do this in a less frustrating way, and to give us the best result. So uh, the first step is we're going to take the shirt body and we're going to turn this inside out. And then we're going to take the shirt sleeve and we're going to take the right sides, the garment side facing shirt, and put that into the shirt body. And again, the shirt body is going to be right sides together, garment sides together, or inside out. And then we're going to put the sleeve inside. And there is a method to that. And as we carry on, you will understand why. Okay, let's get to pinning. Back at the board, we've now taken time to turn our duty shirt body inside out, or right sides together. We have our duty shirt sleeve, and again, this is garment side out. It's complete. Now, like anything, we want to make sure that our seams are lined up. So we're going to just open the body of the shirt, stuff stuff the sleeve into the shirt body, and the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to match up our seams. First and most important point, you just want to be able to have that done. Like I said, that's an ant on the brain if you don't. And that's it. That's all you got to do. You just got to put the sleeve into the shirt body, set those seams together, and then we're going to start pinning. We're back at the board again. We're going to start pinning. We're going to just gently ease our fabric into itself. Once again, just like this, we want to make sure that our seams are lined up. So we have a seam here, we have a seam here. Most people recommend to only use, a couple of pins. I think it's important that you use as many pins as you feel that you want to make sure you have enough stability to do so. Um, Prior to my being able to feel comfortable with inserting sleeves, I would pin I would pin every, pretty much almost every millimeter of this fabric going around. But those days for me are done. But I do take extra care to put to put a couple extra pins here along the sleeve or along the seam area, just for a little extra security. So we're going to do that. There we are, all done pinning. And again, always being mindful that we're going to have our pins running in line with our sewing. So as I put this into, if my hand here is the throat of the sewing machine, then here we are. We're going to be running ourselves this way because the sewing direction is going to be, as we go along, we're going to be sewing, 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 and as we do, the pins are going to come out. So I think we're ready to go to the machine. Here we are back at the machine. I've changed out my feet and I've attached my walking foot. Now this acts like a second set of feed dogs, and that's to make sure that the cloth moves through the stitching process evenly, top and bottom. We're going to be working at 3/8 of an inch. I have my 80 gauge jersey needle. Um, I don't know if that's if that really makes a difference, but there was an old adage that I learned in the Army, and that it's use the right tool for the right job, and that's what I have. We're going to move forward now with our 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, we're going to go very slow. We're going to make sure that we're able to manage any bubbles, any movement. This is jersey cloth. It is around a curve, so we want to make sure that we have everything done just right. And as always, we're going to start off with a basting stitch. That way, when we do turn this right side out or right sides out, we're going to be able to double check our work, and then if everything checks out, then we can run a standard stitch, close this off, and then your duty shirt is going to be done. As you watch this part of the video, I was struggling a bit and I had to put my hand inside the shirt body. That was going to help me be able to make sure that that both edges of the shirt were in line with one another. We are all done with stitching. We've gone 3/8 of an inch. We've used a basting stitch. We're going to go back to the board, and then from there, we're going to take a look at our work with the basting stitch, turn the garment to garment sides out, and we're going to double check this seam. We are back here at the measuring board. We're just going to double check our seams in here. Yeah, you know what? My first thing that I see here, yeah, look at how wide I went over here. Um, Yeah, so you know what? Very important, especially coming across those curves. You can widen that a little bit. And let's remember, our seam allowance is supposed to be 3/8 of an inch. And then notice how this comes in. You know, and again, looks rather uniform at that 3/8 of an inch. Uh, but you know what? Again, we're always double checking our work, thinking that anything can happen as you're sewing. It's true. I'm just going to flip this over and we're going to check the other side. And again, you know, we were very tight on that 3/8 of an inch seam allowance coming up here, but again, right around this curve. Same thing happened. Looks like I went out a little bit too far on that side. And that's probably because I was trying to adjust the fabric as, you know, and with both hands and trying to make sure that our edges were as even as possible. But you know what? That's a very easy fix. Um, Off camera, I'm just going to tidy this seam up. I'm going to bring that into 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. And then as I continue to be off camera, I'm going to attach the other sleeve in the exact same process that you just witnessed, and then we'll look at the final result. Welcome back. We now have both sleeves attached to our shirt body, and I have to say, what an absolute success. Taking those few extra moments to double check those seams, run that basting stitch. I am super happy with the results. So we're just going to quickly take a look here right around this curve. We have great looking stitches. We have no warbles, no bubbles. I'm confident I can say the same thing over here. Now, if you remember, on both curves on this sleeve here, we had a warble, or pardon me, we had an overage. I went outside that 3/8 of an inch seam allowance. So if you happen to see some extra thread there and there, that's the remainder of the pick stitches that I had. So I'm just going to flip this over, bringing this side into a better frame for you to be able to observe. Again, we have a beautiful curve in here. We have no warbles, no bubbles. Everything looks really tight. We're going to pop over to the other side. And again, our curve looks great. As I talked about, you know what, on this side of the sleeve, I went outside that 3/8 of an inch seam allowance so you can see these extra threads. Now when I go off camera, I'll give this a shake. I'll grab my tweezers, pull these guys out, and we're going to be done. So yeah, that's been a real successful build. And I'm just going to quickly adjust the camera, adjust the shirt, and then you can see the final product. And there we have it. We are all done. The Nemesis era / late DS9 duty shirt. I'm super happy with this. I've really enjoyed making this shirt with you. I hope that you found value in everything that I've shared. I also hope that you'll watch some of my other videos. And I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel with the hope that you'll be able to share more time with me as I carry on with other Star Trek inspired builds. And finally, if you are a Star Trek fan, I welcome you to check out the international fan club that I belong to. It's called Starfleet International. You can find those people at www.sfi.org. Once again, thanks so very much for joining Pins and Patience. My name is Jeremy. Bye for now.